So here is my 180 gallon discus tank. It's actually 180 gallons in the main tank here on the top, and it has a 75 gallon sump that I will show you here in a moment. So this is a pre-drilled dual overflow tank that was previously a saltwater tank. And just so you guys know, those overflows were covered in white deposits from being a saltwater tank that have just reabsorbed and disappeared over time. So don't be too stressed out if you ever convert saltwater to freshwater. But in this tank, I have 14 discus that range from 3.5 to 5 inches. There are 2 angelfish that someone gave me in there. There are 40 tetras that are a combination of neons and cardinals. Most of them are cardinals. The larger ones that you can see swimming around in there. This tank was bare bottom until yesterday. I added 80 pounds of pool sand that was rinsed very well. There are also a little school of cories that can see the camera better than any fish I've ever kept. But here's a look at some of the fish. That driftwood just has those plants. Originally they were just super glued onto those pieces of driftwood, and it's kind of taken off. So I told you I'd show you the sump underneath, so I'll show you that. So again, it's 75 gallon sump, and I built a pedestal for this tank to sit on so that it would be taller, because the 75 gallon tank was too high to sit under a regular tank stand. So in this sump you have the dual overflows going into a 200 micron filter sock. It goes through that baffle and over the top into the next chamber, which is a chamber that has egg crate that's elevating some ceramic media rods, because there's a 500 watt heater underneath, and then there's just pothos plants on top in the water there. It goes through the bottom of that baffle into the next chamber, which is a K1 moving bed ran by 2 Fluval air pumps and a small submersible power head to keep that media moving and aerated. And then it goes into the next chamber, which is the pump chamber to pump the water back up into the tank. That metallic matting in there is just to keep any bubbles from coming through that baffle into the pump and making micro bubbles into the tank. Water changes on a discus tank, everybody knows that you have to do a lot of them and often. So to help me with that issue, I had a 1-inch line plumbed through the house and out into the garden. That's a drain line. This 1-inch drain line is primed, pre-primed, and it goes up to the back of the tank here. It has a strainer down in there to keep any fish from getting sucked up. But basically, I'm able to flip that ball valve and it automatically starts draining, and it drains pretty fast to get the water out. And that's the way I dump water fast, so that I can do a water change. In addition to being able to just do a water change, I have a siphon hookup right here, right there, and that allows me to attach my python, and I can siphon direct with the python. And once I get the amount of water out I want out, then I have a 1/2-inch water line piped in from the basement that has a ball valve right here, and I just turn that ball valve and it starts to fill the tank. So this has greatly helped me manage my water changes. And you'll ask about the water going in. I do pre-prime the water in the tank before I add the fresh water into the tank. And I do small water changes more frequently, and it doesn't seem to affect my fish. But that is my Discus tank. I'm really happy with the setup. It seems to be working fine. The fish seem to be healthy. So thanks for watching.